Jay Substad grew up in Apple Valley, Minnesota, with two older brothers, a younger sister, and his parents Bob and Jane. Jay states, "I was a believer throughout my youth, but it wasn't until going off to Bethel that I made faith my own." Jay's brother introduced him to Bethel. "I wanted to go to Bethel so I could learn to walk the walk and talk the talk," he explains. Bethel influenced Jay in another important way. It's where he met Susie Mathis on the first day of Welcome Week. The couple married at the end of their junior year. Jay majored in business and economics and also attended Reserve Officers Training Corps classes at another school, with plans to become a pilot. After 4 years of personal growth, he graduated in 1988. Because of budget cuts, Jay was able to opt out of his commitment to the Air Force, and he pursued flying for Mesaba Airways, a subsidiary of Northwest Airlines. He flew for Mesaba for 8 years, and then on to Northwest. He was laid off in 2003. "At that point, I thought I would be out of work for a year or two," he says. So he earned a construction license and began doing some home remodeling, thinking it would be a transitional career. But as is often the case, God had other plans for Jay and his family. He met Jonathan Smoke, who told him about his passion for bringing clean water to those in need. From this brief conversation, Jay felt called to serve in Honduras. Jay, Susie, and their 4 children, Allison, then age 10, Bethany, age 8, Trent, age 6, and Burke, age 4, spent 6 weeks there helping build a kindergarten. This experience opened our eyes to the country's many needs and the questions surrounding those needs, Jay explains. Several months later, Jay was back in Honduras as God was opening doors. He began his journey of training teams to work alongside the local people. During that pivotal time, he prayed about doing something long-term in the Central American country. The Substads then returned to Honduras for nearly 2 years. They found themselves in a challenging situation. Knowing little Spanish and living in a remote area, the family of 6 settled into a small dirt hut. Life was hard. Susie was busy homeschooling and learning to cook over a fire. The family's frustration came to a head one day when one by one the kids got violently ill. "We cried, 'We can't do this,'" Jay remembers. But then they heard God say, "You said you trusted me. Do you really trust me?" They responded, "We can't do this, but you can, Lord. It's got to be you, God." Community members rallied around the young family, bringing them medicine, and the kids soon recovered. The family began acclimating to their new surroundings and building relationships with their new neighbors. After returning to the States, they, along with 3 friends, 2 of whom are also Bethel alums, began praying for how God might have them continue to be involved with Honduras. This led to the creation of the nonprofit Great Oaks International, consisting of 3 ministries, Aqua Viva and 2 others. They planned to train teams of North Americans who would join Honduran believers for the Aqua Viva ministry. The ministry would make 2 trips each year to Honduras to work alongside the locals to build water systems and to share the hope of Jesus Christ. Aqua Viva focuses on cultivating intimate, long-term partnerships. We live in their homes, we eat their food, we don't bring gadgets, we try to enter into their lives just like Christ did. Many of the leadership decisions are left to the community. It's their project. We're coming alongside them, he continues. It's important to meet the needs of the poor, but having the vehicle of bringing them water, working side by side, that is living the gospel, and it gives us a platform to speak the word as well. Jay and Susie's Bethel connections have remained strong. Their daughter Allison graduated from Bethel in 2013, and Bethany is now a sophomore at Bethel. Jay partners with Bethel Campus Ministries to bring teams of students to Honduras during spring breaks. That partnership has been fruitful, with 35 students applying for 15 spots this last year. These kids are seeking the Lord, Jay says with admiration. Not only do they have to foot the bill for their trip, but they have to commit to 12 weeks of training. Jay's desire to help bring clean water and the gospel of Jesus Christ to the people of Honduras has spread beyond Bethel, as members from several churches provide financial gifts and volunteers. Jay's passion for the living water has moved even his construction suppliers and subcontractors to volunteer for mission trips. Northwest eventually called Jay back to his job as a pilot, but he resigned. The best thing that happened to me was losing what I thought was the perfect job, he reflects. Being self-employed in construction, he's able to focus on praying about his vision for expanding the mission. That mission includes having a larger presence in southern Honduras, including a medical clinic, to expand upon the strong relationships he's made there. God has made it clear. He wants us to continue to walk that path. God is orchestrating it, he says. Jay is driven by Philippians 2, and it's the basis for the Aqua Viva's mission. Jay's advice for Bethel students: Christ has a plan to redeem this world. It's us. There are hard conditions with missions work, but being used by God is great. Everyone thinks they don't have what it takes, but if you make yourself available, God will use you.